Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. If you can hear me, please let me have your yes. Good morning, please. Hello, good morning. Good morning, welcome. Welcome to Plan Your Trade Your Plan daily Forex review with Great White for the 3rd of April 2019. Please, if you can hear me, let me have your yes, please. Good morning. If you can hear me, please let me have your yes. Good morning. And you are all welcome. Please, if you can hear me clearly, let me have your yes, please, so that we can start off. Okay, thank you. If you can hear me, please, let me have your yes so that we can start off. Okay, good morning all. Welcome to Plan Your Trade Your Plan daily Forex review with Great White for the for the 3rd of April 2019. So, as always, I would like you to go through this disclaimer. If you have any questions, feel free to please reach across to me. So, that's out of the way. We go over to our trade for today. Looking at our trades for fundamental news for today, we have the AUDUSD retail sales, which came out overnight, and I believe it was positive for the AUDUSD because the AUD, the Australian dollar USD, had a fast move overnight. Yes, it was way better than expected, as you can see. The market was expecting 0.03%, but it came out at 0.08%, way better than the market expected. So today, we do not have any major high impact news coming out today and early tomorrow morning, no, except for Friday, where we have unemployment, Canadian unemployment change, unemployment rates, average hourly earnings for the USD, and non-farm payroll for the USD, and unemployment rate. So let's get into our charts for today. Looking at our charts for today, we start off with the dollar index. And like I've said, the dollar index might be playing out, as you can see, yesterday's candle. Let me get rid of this. Yesterday's candle closed as a pin bar, as you can see, which might be the beginning of the left shoulder. We might be the beginning of the right shoulder, as you can see. So, noting that we go down to our lower time frame pair. That is a 4-hour. Looking at it, we can see price broke above this zone, but came back into that zone, creating this price pattern here, as you can see. This is a bearish engulfing pattern. Although it had a lower wick, a bit longer lower wick, but as you can see, this trend line that was broken by price, I think that the bounce from this trend line was what caused this week, but price has closed back into that trend line. So what may we see? We may see a bit of movement by price to retest this area. And if they find resistance in this area, then you might see price come down to this place. You might see price come down to 97.01 to 96.97 area. So Noting that the next pair we go over to is the gold. And looking at gold, like I said, gold seems to be playing a sort of a head and shoulders pattern. Gold seems to be playing a sort of a head, left, head, and this seems to be the right shoulder. But if you observe, it's coming in at this neckline here. And if you notice, the candle of yesterday closed as a bullish engulfing. It closed as a bullish engulfing. And something you should also note here, we have this daily bullish anchor candle. Most often, the open price of the anchor candle is support. As long as that open price is not taken out, more often than not, the price will remain bullish. And as you can see, price came in within that range. The open price for this candle, the open price for that candle was, let me see, was 1285, and the low for yesterday was 1285. So as you can see, price came into that range and closed as a bullish engulfing candle. This is almost like a railway track or a bullish tweezer, as you can see. The long lower wick also points to the fact that there is bullish trend. So what you might see to this morning, what you might see throughout the day, I go down to my 4-hour chart, you might see a bit of a pullback, and after that, price may move back up. So where is our plausible support? Our plausible support comes in at this area. As long as this low, 1286.23 is still standing, then price has a high chance to move up. And we have this 4-hour 14 simple moving average. The value comes in it's at the psychological level area, 1289.93. That is at this point here. At this point here. That's here. At this point here. So this is your first line of support. The first line of, I removed it. Your first line of support comes in here. 1289.93, while your second comes in at 1286.23. So that out of the way, we move over to our next pair, which is USDCHF. Looking at the USDCHF from a daily point of view, we can see, remember what I said yesterday about this resistance area here. This is what you call a bearish anchor candle. Its open price more often than not is a resistance. And as you can see, day before yesterday got rejected. Yesterday closed with what appears to be now like what might pass for an inverted hammer of sorts. Seems to be an inverted hammer of sorts. Needs an inverted hammer of sorts, as you can see here. So we might see a retest of that level. We might see a retest of that level as might be playing out now. As you can see, what price did is, see, this was our analysis for yesterday. Let me get rid of this. As you can see, price found support here and is moving back into that area to test it. So as long as, so this is now the range. As you can see, your first resistance range comes in at 0.9990, and your support range comes in at 0.9974 to 9966. So below this level, below this lower support level, that is, should we get the close on the 4-hour below this point, you wait for a retest and a move down to this point. So that is the game plan for this pair. Okay, so let me get rid of this. So this is the most likely play out. This is the most likely play out on this pair. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro USD. Looking at the Euro USD from a daily point of view, we can see get rid of this. We can see price created, bounced off this low level here. As you can see, created this looks like almost a pin bar, kind of pin bar doji sort of with a long lower wick. So as you can see, price might be moving away from this point because if you notice, the dollar index is about to start playing the right part of its head and shoulder pattern. So that may cause a little bit of relief on the Euro USD. How high will it go? I can't see. It might get as high as 1258. So we go down to our intraday chart. And if we look at our intraday chart, as you can see, price dropped into this zone and is moving away from this zone. So right now, price is at a kind of resistance area. Let me shade this area red. Shade the red. So price is at a sort of resistance area. Price is at a sort of resistance area. As you can see, the area comes in between 1.1220 and 1.1210. So a move above that area, a close above that area. So as you can see, price came in here, tapped it, and went up. So this is, let me drop down to the 4-hour time frame. So now, price is, you can see the 4-hour, we already have a bit of a move. So price is testing this area. Should they stay above this 1.1210, then you may see a move up into this area for the Euro USD. So for now, the Euro USD is still bearish, but it is correcting a bit due to dollar index. Hello, can you all still hear me? Can you all still hear me, please? Hello? Yes, can you all still hear me? Okay, let me continue. Because I needed to be sure, because I just got a notification that my internet is a bit unstable, so I just needed to be sure. So that is it for Euro USD. And I know that some of you are already long Euro USD, so you just, if there is a pullback, don't panic. There's already a support here, so it might pull back a bit, then continue up. So let's look at the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD from a daily point of view, yesterday's candle closed a bit bullish, as you can see, a bit bullish, as you can see. I drop down to the 4-hour. Drop down to the 4-hour. Price is currently at a resistance area. That's just what you need to know now. Price, yes, bullish, but price is currently at a resistance area. If there is enough selling pressure here, it may push down price. And should price drop, where will price most likely drop to? Price will most likely drop to 1.3150. That's where price will most likely drop to 1.3150. So the price might most likely drop to 1.3150 if we get selling pressure. So this zone between 1.3150 and 1.3127 may act as support area and move higher on price. So the next pair we'll be looking at is EURGBP. Looking at the EURGBP from a daily point of view, a close bearish yesterday, as you can see, with a long upper wick. But the deal with the Euro USD now, with the Euro GBP now, is that he's in a support area. Let me go down to the 4-hour time frame that is marked out so that I can explain it a bit clearly to you, the situation we have now. Because it's kind of like, okay, like the Euro USD reacted from this level of yesterday. There was no close above it, so that resulted in price coming down, as you can see, and broke this trend line. Broke this trend line, and this was the retest, and there's a drop. So now, the current situation now is that the Euro GBP is in a support area. It's clearly in a support area. As you can see, there is a level here, and that's where price is currently sitting at. And there is a box, is a zone, a very, very big zone. The first zone comes in between 85.10 to 84.95, while the second zone comes in between 84.95 to 84.71. So that's a bit of a, would I say, a bit of a quagmire in a way, because knowing that, you would know that where the GBPUSD now is not a good place to take a long position. So if you did not join the long position before now, I would not advise getting in now. Wait for a pullback. The next pair we're looking at is the GBPCHF. Looking at the GBPCHF, it has broken this trend line. And if you look at it, this evening, this morning star formation with this long upper wick still shows buying pressure. Still showing buying pressure, and you have a sort of a double bottom playing out. So knowing that, you drop down to our intraday chart on the 4 hour. So looking at it now, the pair is in a resistance area. Let me remove this. You can see the pair might be running up to this week high. So if I pull back this resistance, that's what we have here, 1.3207 to 1.3151. So that is the box. So the best game here is if price stays above this 1.3151, you may see a move higher towards here. But should price drop lower, as long as price stays above this 1.3104, then we may see a move higher on price. So that is what we may see play out on price. That's just what we may see for now. So for now, if you ask me, I would not be eager to engage a long position here. I would prefer to wait for a pullback. A pullback to, there's a zone here that's between this point. Between this 1.3129 to 1.3104. That's where you should be waiting for a drop and a bullish evidence to continue long on the GBPCHF. That is provided that the Euro GBP continues its down move. As you know, the Euro GBP sometimes has an inverse reaction to the GBP pairs. And again, with the Brexit news coming and going, you just need to be a little bit careful. Reduce your exposures so that you don't get burnt badly. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the AUDUSD. And looking at the AUDUSD, like I said earlier, we have a support structure at here, 0.7062. And what did price do? Price created a bearish move into that level. And what happened? Price turned back up. So some of you might say it's news. Well, news, no news. The deal is the price moved up. And where did it move on from? From this area, as you can see. That's why sometimes you need to be careful. The levels of support and resistance, they coming in, there's a hierarchy. You have the static support and resistance first, that is these levels. Then you have the horizontal, that is the trend line, the channels. Then you have the dynamic. As you can see, price broke this trend line, but there was a support structure beneath it. And as you can see, price came in, triggered stops, and what did he do? He moved back up. So where is price now? Price is back up at this trend line. So for the AUDUSD, if you ask me, I'll just say the pair is just ranging. That's just what he's doing. He's just ranging. All you just have to do is know where your range high is and know where your range low is. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the USDJPY. This pair has been getting in on a lot of people's nerves. Well, the deal is this. He has broken this trend line, this secondary trend line, and he's approaching a primary trend line as this one here. Right now, he's at that place. So knowing that, you go down to your 4-hour chart. I go down to my 4-hour chart. As you can see, like I said, price will drop into this area, move up. So now, if price does not break above this trend line, then it will start to come low. This trade will not be good for a sell until you have a close below 11116, or you have a rejection from 11169 to 11162 within this range. Within this range. So that is just it. That is just it. So that's the box range within this area. So you can either take a sell from here if you get evidence, or you wait for a break below here to join lower. But if you wait for a break here, you know there's another support zone here. So these are the pairs, these are the areas you need to pay attention to on the USDJPY. Sometimes USDJPY moves well, sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating. But for now, price is at this trend line. If you get a bit of rejection from here, then you might engage a sell position down. But for now, exercise caution. The next we'll be looking at is the EURGBP. Looking at the EURGBP from a daily point of view, I think this support structure held. Let me change the color. This support structure at 124.64 held, as you can see. If I go down, if we now move down to the lower time frame chart, that is our 4-hour, can see price has broken above this resistance zone. As you can see, I said this support area, this 124.56 was support. As you can see, price came down, didn't close below, and moved back up. So now, what is the game plan now? The game plan is this. This is the game plan for this pair now. You need to see price drop into here, find support, then move up. That's just the next game plan for this pair. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPJPY. Looking at the GBPJPY is on the move. If you look at it from a daily point of view, as you can see, this evening star formation I talked of yesterday, it pulled back into the body and took off. So now, as you can see, price has broken above this resistance structure here. As you can see, price has busted above it. So what's the next game plan? The next game plan on the 4-hour is this. You need for price to come down and retest here to move higher. Ooh. Okay, I made a mistake. You need for price to drop into this area and move higher. So now, let me readjust the coloring. So this area now is going to become support. This area is going to become support now. So this is your support area. So your support area comes in between 146.50 and 146.25. So should you get a bearish move from this place, this is where you'll be hoping to find support. And should they find support here, then you can take a long position higher into this resistance between 147.32 and 147.02. But for now, I would not advise taking a long position here because price may drop from this area. Next pair we'll be looking at is the EURUSD. Looking at the EURUSD from the daily point of view. Yesterday's candle closed bullish, as you can see, pretty bullish. So what we might be seeing is a bit of a pullback. This pair somehow has just been ranging throughout. You can see it broke this trend line. Comment. Price broke this trend line and it's testing back this support zone between 158.01 and 157.69. That's where price seems to be testing right now. Let me get rid of this trend line. So that's where price seems to be testing. Let me draw a fresh trend line. Would you see a note? We use this please. So this is where we have price at the moment now in this support area. Should this area hold that support, price may move back above it. That's just it for this pair. The next pair we'll be looking at is the GBP Euro, GBPAUD. Looking at the GBPAUD from a daily point of view, closed pretty bullish yesterday, as you can see. Closed pretty bullish into this falling trend line. Let me see if I have this trend line on the 4-hour, this falling channel. Okay, let me see. Let me go back to this page. As you can see, there's a falling channel here. This is a false break, and price tested it yesterday and dropped. And when it dropped, it gave a bearish engulfing pattern. So price is now retesting this resistance at 1.8533. So now, given the way the daily closed yesterday, price may try to move back high. Price may try to move back high on this pair. Let me get rid of this trend line. So it's basically looking like a range kind of business, as you can see. So the best bet will just be, if you're not buying this pair, you just wait for price here. Just wait for price at this point and see what happens at this point, because price, if this 4-hour closes bullish, if the current 4-hour closes bullish, then price may try to run up to this point. Because if you remember, the AUDUSD is at the resistance. The AUDUSD is at the resistance. Let me get rid of this trend line. It's not so valid for now. The AUDUSD is at the resistance, so you might see a bit of a bullish move on this GBPAUD on the close of the 1-hour candle. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the USDCAD. Looking at the USDCAD broke this trend line, and I think it went to do a retest yesterday. And now, a retest of this trend line, and it got rejected from it, but currently price is sitting, as you can see, I said yesterday, price will move into this area. If it gets rejected, it's coming back down. As you can see, that seems to be what played out, but price now is at a support area, as you can see. So there's a potential that it may move back up, or a break below this 1.33, this is a psychological level, 1.3302, and you may see price get to 1.3279. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPCAD. You asked me, this GBPCAD is preparing to move up. Do you see this double bottom? As you can see, this double bottom, the daily has now a sort of a morning star formation. Let me get rid of this trend line. This trend line has been rendered null and void. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see where price, and you can see this was the resistance, this was the support, this is the range it is playing. So now we know we are at the resistance level and we know support. This is just what you wait for. Should price go above this zone top, let me put a horizontal line there so that we get the value. We get the value. Should price go above 1.7550, then we may see price move higher towards 1.7632. But should price drop, your first level of support comes in here. The first level of support comes in at this point. So what you'll be waiting for is, should price drop out of here? Oh, I deleted that. Should price drop from this area, you'll be waiting for it to hold above here and move higher. But should it break below this 74.58, wait for a retest and a drop into this area. But for now, price seems to be playing the range, as you can see from the 4-hour. Price seems to be playing the range here. So the best bet is just to watch out. It will not be advisable to take a long position at this current structure. So that is it for today's Plan Your Trade, Trade Your Plan daily review. I thank you all for coming and wish you all a beautiful trading day in advance. Thank you.